Welcome back to NJIT News. It's a weekly broadcast of whatever's going on at NJIT. I think today we're going to start off with sports. So
We are. So far in NJIT sports, we're doing pretty well actually. Sports team here, soccer team is doing very well. They're actually undefeated. We have 15 wins and 4 losses. And we're in the playoffs right now, and we're actually doing the top of the division right now. And next off, we have rugby. Whereas we're doing actually pretty well as well. My friend John, he's doing pretty well on the team, playing midfield, and he says that the team is actually doing very well because the coach has been traded. Coach Phil Jackson of the Lakers, he came to the rugby team here, and he's making the team strides and keeping them doing very well. And next off, we have the wrestling department, and here is our best sport we have. We've recently encountered a wrestling coach from Rutgers University, and the coach there was on the wrestling team in '98 of the Olympics, and he actually won the gold medal. So the coach of the wrestling team is doing very well teaching the guys there, and we're informing the guys that soon enough they're going to add females to the team as well. So then sooner or later we're going to have females and males on the team together. Next off, we have the NJIT soccer team. And on this team, this is our worst team we have in the school. We're doing very bad actually. This is the worst team we have. Unfortunately, the coach is not too good for some reason. And one of the top team captain, Eugene, he was saying that the team was not too good for some reason. The players were not coordinated and they were not playing too well together for some odd reason. But he was saying that he has high beliefs and high goals that one day they will be undefeated and they will soon enough be the best team in the nation. But next off, we have crime.
Crime at NJIT. As you can see, NJIT is located in Newark, one of the worst cities in the U.S. And crime in the school has been rising lately. A female student walking with her headphones, backpack, and she also had like a $300 beat headphones on. She was robbed walking through pizzeria around 9 p.m. around 9 p.m. The public safety is still working on the case. They still hasn't know if the victim hasn't been found yet. And another student was robbed. He was walking to the parking lot around 7 after class. He had his laptop on and his wallet. That victim also hasn't been found yet. And another third victim was robbed playing daylight around 2 p.m. He was on his way to class. After parking across the street from NJIT, the parking lot across the street located on Warren and Smith. He said the victim was a drive-by. They was just driving by a black car, around 3 people in the car. And he just pulled up out of nowhere, asking for his money. He didn't have no money, but they took his backpack and also his phone and his wallet. As you can see, NJIT is located in Newark, so my advice is whenever you walk into school, try and make sure you don't have no expensive object on you, like phones and all that, leave it in your car. If you have a computer, leave it in your car. Or maybe trying to walk with friends and trying to, like nighttime, just make sure you walk with your friends and not have any expensive value on you. Now we're gonna move on to test.
alright, so as most people are probably aware, we just finished Commons and midterms at NJIT. And first up, we just have some projected graphs on how stress usually works in the classes. If you look at the green line is CS100, an entry-level class. You can see it spikes like some weeks depending on when the tests are, and so it's like go down, spikes again for tests, and sort of levels out towards the end. Then we hit Calc 1, which is one of the more stressful classes, and see it spikes up a lot faster than CS100, and then it drops a little bit, and then the second exam happens, and it's just mounting stress and impending doom until the finals. And then you hit Calc 2, which is probably one of the toughest classes at NJIT, where they're just under constant stress that spikes during midterms and tests in general, until they get to the end of the semester and realize that they're failing anyway, so they just stop caring. And in general, speaking of Calc 2, we're moving on to the exams. Actually, this year, grades have been going down steadily at Calc 2. This year, the midterms were curved up to the maximum amount of 40 points. bring the average test score to about a 47. When we interviewed the math department about this, the head said, I took the test and I got an 87, so I mean, I don't see the issue. So it's obviously the student's fault. And that's just a graph of grades in Calc 2. They went really far down, all the way down. In the major of the week that we're going to interview this week, we're going to be some architecture students, but we couldn't find any. They've been locked in the Archie building since mid-September, and they don't get let out, and we couldn't get anybody in. But this is some drone footage, snapshot of what an Archie studio looks like. It's just paper, it's thrown everywhere, highly disorganized. I think it's the claustrophobia from being locked in one room for months at a time. And so we have an interview actually with a Calc 2 student with how they deal with the stress. How do you deal with the stress, Calc 2 student at NJIT? It doesn't. They don't deal with the stress, even if they're goats. Yeah, so that's all we have for today. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Geek Yak, and all the other social medias that you can find, because we need viewership because the school doesn't give us a budget. Thank you. Have a good night.